Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a different video. If you watch my channel, I've told you guys before, it's 3 a.m. I've been up for a couple hours now, going through news feeds, going through TMZ, looking for stories, looking for content to discuss with you guys. And this morning, nothing really grabbed my attention. And I want to talk about recovery and addiction and the stigma that comes along with it, even after 17 and a half years. And the more I thought about this, this all came to mind when I went to the dentist yesterday. If you go back a few videos, you'll realize I lost a tooth and I went to the dentist. And the way that dentist dealt with me, the way he looked at me, the way he treated me, I don't know, some of it might be my own perception of the way he treated me, and there's other things that I realized too. Let me start at the very beginning here with this video. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that are just straightforward, like I'm a heroin addict, this is the first time I did heroin, what happened the first time I did crack, blah, blah, blah. You know, videos like that, and they get lots of views because they're straightforward and right to the point, and they say, you know, this is... People, there's a lot of people dealing with addiction. And besides for the people dealing with addiction, there's a lot of family and friends dealing with it. So when they do a search to try to get some info, to try to understand, they go right to these videos. And these videos get a lot of views. All right, my channel is monetized. And this is the way that, I think it's wrong, even with the way the YouTube treats me and monetized channels. There's certain words I can't use, and I'm not going to monetize this video. That means, you know, I'm not going to I'm not going to click the button that's going to put advertising on this, because I know I won't get it. There's certain words that I can't use in the title, and there's certain things I can't say in the first 30 seconds if I want advertising, if I want to make money from this video. So I'm torn, you know, because I want to share what I've learned in the last 17 and a half years of being clean and sober since October 23rd, 2006. You know, and I see these other videos getting so many views because they're just straightforward, you know, with the title, and, you know, and people I click on it, you know, and I have to dance around in my title. Like, I can't say addict. I can't say addiction. I can definitely not say heroin or any type of drug. You know, but it really sucks that I can't even say I'm a recovering addict. So I'm going to say that's what I'm going to say in this video. And the way this is about the perception and kind of, you know, and I understand why people look at recovering addicts like this. Some of it might be my own, you know, my own problem with it. Let me go back to 3 or 4 days ago when I went to the dentist. So I fill out a form, and it asks, have I ever had any of these diseases? And the one thing I learned in addiction, whenever I go to any doctor, any dentist, when I go to the emergency room, when I go to any medical professional, and they ask me these questions about drugs, you know, when they specifically ask me about drugs or alcohol, I always tell them straight out. And that's helped me stay clean and sober. This way, it totally avoids them, you know, the thought of prescribing me anything with opiates in it, any kind of tranquilizer, you know, anything that might be detrimental to my recovery. So I'm always straightforward. And I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of it is, I'm proud. I'm proud of what I've achieved. I mean, there is some pride in that, you know, in checking that box. And, you know, but see, here's the thing. I don't get to tell them that I have 17 and a half years clean. You know, for all they know, I could still be in the throes of addiction. I could be clean for a couple of days. I could have just used yesterday, you know, and they look at me differently, and I see that. Like I said, so this dentist, I check off the box. This is just a few days ago, and I check off the box. This is, yes, I've dealt, you know, I deal with drug and alcohol issues. I'm a recovering addict. They didn't even use the word recovery. It just says drug and alcohol addiction or something like that, and I check the box. So, you know, I'm going through they do an x-ray, they do an examination because I'm looking to get new dentures. And then the dentist comes in, and right from the beginning, the drugs and alcohol is never brought up. But he seems very dismissive of me because I'm trying to explain to him how it happened, with a piece of ice and how it fell out and everything, and how long I've had it and where I got it, because I initially got the dentures through a methadone clinic. They helped me get the dentures. They pulled all my teeth, the methadone clinic in Hartford, Connecticut. And as soon as I said that word, methadone, because that's where I got the dentures at the methadone clinic, so it's all, I'm trying to give him information. I'm not trying to give him extra information, but when I could just see his eyes close and he looks down, and he's just very dismissive. And he asks me the questions over and over again, like I'm confused, like he's verifying the questions, but he's just, overall, he seems very dismissive of everything I say. He doesn't look me in the eye. And I've noticed this before. Some of it, this is why I'm sharing this with you guys. Some of it might be my own perception, might be my own, I don't want to say guilt, but, the way that I think people look at me. But after 17 and a half years, I'm proud of myself. I've got a lot of self-confidence. I don't walk around thinking of myself as a recovering, as an addict. I do think of myself as a recovering addict. But I've seen this look before. I go to the doctor on a yearly basis to my physicals. And these are people that only see me once in a while. And I tell the doctor, he doesn't ask. He knows I'm a recovering addict. He knows that I was in a methadone program. But he doesn't ask. And in these physicals, and I think it's pertinent information that I've been, I'm still clean and sober, and so I go out of my way to tell him, I get up, I exercise, I've got a regimen, I'm still on my regimen of getting up early and exercising. And again, this is the doctor that I've had for good 15 years, and he's very dismissive of it. Like, I almost get the feeling that he feels that I'm giving him a line, like I'm giving him a story, like he cuts me off midway, like, yeah, I've heard it before. And this is, and the thing is, I understand this because of the disease of addiction and who I used to be, the dishonest, manipulative person that I was, that comes with being an addict. I understand why especially these medical people look at me that way. And again, I don't know how much of it is me, thinking they're looking at me this way, and how much of it is them actually looking at me this way. Because I think after 17 and a half years, I'm confident. I've got a good feeling for people. And I could tell when somebody's being dismissive of me. I still go to counseling. This is completely by my own choice. It's something that works for me. So I still go once a month to drug and alcohol counseling. And I still take a urine every month. And I do this completely by choice. I think it just helps me stay that little extra bit honest, because I know, I think it's helped me in the past, even after 17 and a half years. It's all by my choice. And it just gives me that little extra incentive, and it's worked for me. And when I get a new counselor, a lot of counselors come and go. A lot of times, I'm a 58-year-old guy. And I get like a female counselor, like in her 20s, that hasn't only even been out of school that long. Like this girl's young enough to be she's half my age. But I really don't mind that. I don't mind sharing, my day and my problems and the things I'm going through, stuff like this. I don't mind sharing it with them. I think if these counselors are going to learn, it's good that they understand that there is success in recovery like me for 17 and a half years. So I try to be understanding. I don't look at myself like, well, I'm a 58-year-old guy with 17 and a half years clean, and I don't have to explain myself to this, this person half my age who just got out of school, who just heard about, I was using back when this person was in diapers. I don't look at it that way. I don't be dismissive. These people are there to help me, and they are helping. They still help me. So I look at it in that way. When I moved into this building, once people get to know me and they see my daily routine and they see me every day, they know I'm clean. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. My family knows I'm clean. And when I first moved into this building, there's a cop that I was working out with. I didn't even know he was a cop at first. And he seemed to be he's one person that I never noticed this dismissive look. Like I told him right off we're working out. A lot of times I work out so much, people are like, you're so into working out. And I explained it to him. This keeps me clean. I've kind of traded my addiction from drugs I've kind of transferred it to exercising. So it comes up a lot of times when I'm talking to people, especially when I first meet them and it's in an exercise atmosphere. And right from the beginning, he looked, he was like, dude, that's great. That's fantastic. And I told him that I've been clean and sober for 17 and a half years. And he's one person I never got that dismissive look from. He looks at me and he looks at me like, like he looks at me with confidence. Like, he sees the real me. And that's one of the few people that do. Even just the other day, Mother's Day, we were all gathered, my family, and a joke, we're telling jokes. We finished the meal and everything. We had the cake for Mother's Day and everything. And we're joking around. And me and my sister's husband start joking around. And we start laughing, and he laughs easy. Like I tend to crack him up. I don't know why, but it's great because he starts laughing and he makes me laugh. And we just start laughing. It's kind of, it's catchy when somebody starts laughing. And I couldn't even catch my breath, and I start coughing. I'm just laughing so hard. And I look up at my family, and they're looking at me all concerned. This is the first time, this is one of the few times that they looked at me and I get that feeling like, well, he's acting out of character. He's laughing so much. Did he sneak out and smoke something? So I don't know. I don't know if it's me to some extent being, thinking these people are looking at me in that way, or if they are really, I think a lot of times the people that don't know me, and I tell them that I'm a recovering addict, especially when I don't have the opportunity to tell them that I have 17 and a half years. I don't have the opportunity to talk to them for an extended time. So they see, it's easy to see. You guys can see it. I'm here every day making these videos, and it should be obvious to you guys that I'm clean and sober. If I was using, there's no way that I would be here in front of this camera every single day. At 3 a.m., that just would not happen, So when people get to know me, they know, there's no doubt. But when they first meet me, there's that stigma that's attached, especially because I went through a methadone program. And this is just something, I've learned to deal with. It's a stigma that comes along with it, and I can understand why. Like I said, because of the dishonesty and the manipulation that came with the person I was, and that comes along with addiction. I understand why they don't believe me at first. And it's just something you have to kind of push through, and just be yourself. And people, and like I said, people will see who you are. You don't have to make a point of saying, I've been clean and sober. You can test me. It's just I just be myself, and it's obvious. It's obvious that I've been clean and sober. So let's see. I'm probably going to title this, issues of being a recovering addict, and I'm gonna apply for monetization on this video just to make a point, because I think it's something that people want to see it. Like I said, there's other YouTube videos that talk about this stuff, and they get tens of thousands of views, but I can't share. I can't be specific in my video title because of this, because there's a stigma attached even on this YouTube channel. So let's see if it works. All right. Recovery is possible. I've been clean and sober for 17 and a half years, and it's been the best years of my life, bar none. The most successful, the most loving, the most relationships, the most financially, professionally rewarding years I've ever had in my life, the happiest years of my life. Recovery is possible. Have a good Sunday.